let's talk some more about the subtle nuances of the projector invitation. Now, if you are totally new to me, hi, I'm Carolyn Southwell. I am a projector. I've been working with human design for 9 years. And when it comes to the human design aspects of my work, my aim is to make the complicated and complex as simple and empowering as possible. Now, this video is going to be helpful for 3 groups of people. See if you're one of these 3. 1, if you are a projector who's been working with human design for any length of time, but you are still struggling to feel the difference and know the difference of when you have received an invitation versus when you haven't. You're struggling to really understand what it means to wait for the invitation. And 2, if you're somebody of another type, but you love a projector, maybe it's your spouse, maybe your best friend, your kiddo, and you just want to really understand, like you have a keen interest in learning more about design, and you really want to understand the invitation better so you can help them be able to live their design better and sort of make life a bit easier for them. Or 3, you are a fellow human design coach or teacher, and you also are struggling to understand the projector strategy for any reason. You just haven't got it nailed yet. And you'd like to be able to hear directly from a projector who's been living this stuff for quite a while now. So I had a question that came in on one of my YouTube videos about projectors. There's lots on this channel, so you can click around and subscribe if you want to do any of those things. But for now, I'm going to read you the question in full, and then I'm going to pull it apart and answer it, because this is a very common question. What happens if, as a projector, I stand in a circle and the speaker invites everyone all in one go to have a go? And the speaker and my entire body as a projector says, yes, 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 I want to go. I want to speak. And I get really excited, this person asks, but the speaker doesn't handpick or invite me individually. Is it only the spoken hand-picked invitation that counts, or does one's inner subtle nudge count? This, like, it feels like an internal invitation is what they've said. When do you know the difference? Now, if I have to wait to be handpicked, boy, does that suck. And if that's the case, you can see everyone else going and you wanted to go as well, but you've got to trust that it was for your own good that you didn't go. It feels like I'm missing out once more. Okay, so that's basically what this person has said. And again, this is a really common question that I get, and I see projectors when I'm out in the world and I'm watching how people are behaving, and I even think back to how much I did this in my early days of experimenting with design, how much I as a projector was trying to respond when I hadn't actually been invited to speak. So if you are in a situation as a projector, or the projector that you love, or the projector that you're serving, if you're in a circle and the person who's leading the circle, in whatever context, it can be very informal, it can be at the markets with a group of friends, or it can be, you know, a professional context, a meeting, any number of things, right? But if there is the situation where a question is asked of the whole group, then it is not correct for the projector to speak. It's correct for the generators, the manifesting generators, to respond to what happens in their environment. It's correct for the manifestor to initiate if they feel like it and go, I have something to say on this matter, blah, 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 right? But for the projector and reflectors, hi there, unless you have somebody ask you specifically, and it could be as subtle as the speaker looks directly at you, that's still an invitation, but you have to be picked somehow. And that's not a bad thing, even though it feels like it. The invitations come when it's correct for you to speak. When you're in a situation where there is somebody who values and recognizes what you have to say. And if there's nobody in that circle, in that situation, that values what you have to say, there is 0 point in wasting your incredible, wisdom and insights, because it's going to fall on deaf ears. So you could say it's kind of like the universe having you back, looking after your precious energy and your wisdom, and making sure that you don't bark up the wrong tree, so to speak. Now, what I have seen happen sometime, I've experienced this, is that a question will be asked in the whole group and I don't get asked, even though my body is like, I have a great answer for that. Pick me. But I managed to stay silent, which I know can be hard work sometimes, harder in some contexts than others. That sometimes what happens is that as the circle breaks or like individual conversations break out, that one of the people next to me or, somebody who does recognize me, even from the other side of the circle, will ask me like immediately afterwards or soon after the fact, what did you think about that? What's your take on that, right? And in that case, I've received an invitation and I've been asked by somebody who actually wants to hear what I have to say on the matter, who might actually take my wisdom or my insights or my advice and do something with it. Let's be really clear. And people talk about this all the time. There are so many like ridiculous things that are said about the invitation. An invitation is not internal. An invitation comes from another person. The invitation gives you an opportunity as a projector to guide someone else's energy, right? Most of the population, generators, manifesting generators, and manifestors all have energy that you can work with. Manifestors will rarely let you guide them, but occasionally they will. And if they want your guidance, they will flat out tell you, what do you think about this? I want to know what you think about that. What would you do about this? They will tell you if they want your guidance. But generators and manifesting generators that make up almost 70% of the population have all this energy you can guide. That's what you're really here for as a projector. You're here to guide the energy of others. And the way you know it's the right time and the right opportunity to guide the right people in the right way is they will frickin' invite you. As you practice this is your experiment, right? Human design is a set of guidelines. The only way you take it from mental knowledge into embodied understanding is by experimenting. Some of you, like me, will have to mess it up 12 million different ways to learn. I still mess up things and I learn things every day, right? Some of you, it will come more naturally, more easily, especially if you've done lots of healing and lots of deconditioning work, because it just means that there's less old resistance to butt up against. But if you are actively experimenting and noticing, okay, what happens when I do this? What happens when I do that? When this person asks me, are they really listening? And if you have heard what I said and just now about the invitation in the context of a group where you haven't been handpicked and you're like, oh yeah, that's all well and good, but I don't know, I don't quite believe you, or I don't want to wait, then don't. Go and experiment. Wait, look at what happens the next time when you, like this person, are in a circle and somebody asks the whole group all at once and your body's going, yes, yes, yes. Notice what happens when you speak up. Projectors are very, very good at getting attention in all the wrong ways because we had to in order to survive childhood. Sometimes we had to jump up and down on tables and do ridiculous things and be the rebel, the rat bag, the good girl, the class clown. We did all sorts of things in order to be able to get attention because so often we felt ignored, walked over, invisible, right? So many of us, myself included, have lots of ridiculous ways to get attention. But here's what I found the more and more and more I deepen into my design. Anytime, and it's very rare these days, but I catch myself doing something in order to get attention when I didn't naturally get attention of my own by the right person in the right circumstance, it always goes pear-shaped. It never goes the way I was hoping. It doesn't go smoothly. The person's not really listening. They don't really value anything that came out of my mouth, right? So if you need to go and like experiment, then please do that. Please, it is your experiment. But now you know that if you do it correctly and have the greatest possible outcome, it comes from whether it's 1-on-1 or 1-on-5 or 1-on-50 or 1-on-50,000 fucking people. If you're supposed to speak and be heard and be valued and be recognized, somebody will pick you. They will look at you. They will give you their attention. They will ask you. They will draw attention to you. They will give you the spotlight. They will freaking handpick you. And then you know that it is far more likely that what comes out of your mouth will actually be valued.